Confessions 25. Let no one irritate me further by saying, Moses did not mean what you say. He meant what I say. If anyone were to ask me, how do you know that Moses meant his words to be taken in the way that you explained them, it would be my duty to listen to the question with composure, and in answer I should give the explanation which I have already given, perhaps rather more fully if the questioner were slow to understand. But when a man says Moses did not mean what you say, but what I say, and yet does not deny that both his interpretation and mine are consistent with the truth, then, O life of the poor, O my God, in whose bosom there is no contradiction, I beg you to water my heart with the rain of forbearance, so that I may bear with such people in patience. They speak as they do, not because they are men of God, or because they have seen in the heart of Moses, your servant, that their explanation is the right one, but simply because they are proud. They have no knowledge of the thoughts in his mind, but they are in love with their own opinions, not because they are true, but because they are their own. If this were not so, they would have equal respect for the opinions of others, provided that they were consistent with the truth. Just as I respect their opinions when they do not depart from the truth, not because the opinions are theirs, but because they are within the truth. And in fact, for the very reason that they are true, these opinions are not their own property. If, on the other hand, they love them because they are true, they are both theirs and mine, for they are the common property of all lovers of the truth. But I will not tolerate their contention that Moses meant not what I say he meant, but only what they say. It appalls me, because even if their explanation is the right one, the arbitrary assurance with which they insist upon it springs from presumption, not from knowledge. It is the child of arrogance, not of true vision. We must dread your judgments, O Lord, because your truth is not mine alone, nor does it belong to this man or that. It belongs to us all, because we all hear your call to share it, and you give us dire warning not to think it ours alone, for fear that we may be deprived of it. If any man claims as his own what you give to all to enjoy and tries to keep for himself what belongs to all, he is driven to take refuge in his own resources instead of in what is common to all. For he who utters falsehood utters what is his alone. O good judge, O God, O truth, listen as I lay before you the answer that I shall give to any man who contradicts me in this fashion. I speak before you and before my brothers in the faith, who apply the law legitimately, that is, to the end of charity. Listen, if it so please you, and hear what I shall say to him. Speaking peaceably, as between brothers, I shall say, if we both see that what you say is true, and also that what I say is true, what enables us to recognize this truth? I do not see it in you, nor do you see it in me, but we both see it in the immutable truth which is above our minds. Therefore, since there is no dispute between us about the light which shines from the Lord our God, why do we argue about the thoughts of a fellow man, which we cannot see as clearly as we see the immutable truth? Even if Moses were to appear to us and say, "This is what I meant," we should not see his thoughts, but would simply believe his word. Let us not, therefore, go beyond what is laid down for us, one man slighting another out of partiality for someone else. Let us love the Lord our God with our whole heart and our whole soul and our whole mind, and our neighbor as ourselves. Whatever Moses meant in his books, unless we believe that he meant it to be understood in the spirit of these two precepts of charity, we are treating God as a liar, for we attribute to his servant thoughts at variance with his teaching. When so many meanings, all of them acceptable as true, can be extracted from the words that Moses wrote, do you not see how foolish it is to make a bold assertion that one in particular is the one he had in mind? Do you not see how foolish it is to enter into mischievous arguments, which are an offence against that very charity for the sake of which he wrote every one of the words that we are trying to explain?